Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about the little cartridge that could. And if you noticed it in the thumbnail, that's the one. I'm going to give you a guess. You probably already know by the title anyway. 6.5 Grendel. 2026 is the year 26 calibers. So let's talk about the 6.5 Grendel today. First, I'm going to give you a little info on it. We're going to jump into some shooting. And then at the end, we're going to talk about some of the ballistics and what that means for this cartridge. Developed to shoot out of the AR-15 platform, it shoots with the PPC bolt head. So that lands you somewhere between the standard AR-15 223 and the higher caliber AR-15, like your AR-10s actually. So the 6.5 Grendel was standardized to shoot out of the AR-15 platform, a gas gun, and it shoots the PPC bolt head, which is somewhere between your standard AR-15 223 bolt head and your AR-10 bolt heads. So just for the internet, it is completely clear. This is the Kopes KP-15. It comes with an 18-inch 416 barrel. So pretty standard stuff, rifle length gas system. It is Kopes Precision branded, upper and lower receiver. It's got the MeOpta Optika5 on it, or MePro 5. It is a 4-20 power scope. On the end, we've got an Aero Lahar L and FDE. Sort of matches the like burnt bronze that we're seeing there. Let's jump into the video. We're gonna do some shooting with this one. I've got some hand loads as well as some factory loads. And then we're gonna talk about some of the capability of the 6.5 Grendel on the backside. We'll see you there.
Nozzler 120 grain boat tail ballistic tip ammo, top left dot on that very top target. Not a terrible group out of an AR. Standard divination of 7.9, speed of 2363. These are some 6.5 Grendel Nozzler trophy grade, 129 grain AccuBond long range. This box is in way better shape. That other one is just tore up from the floor up. Noticeably, these have different primers in them. They're advertising 2350 at the muzzle. Those other ones were advertising 2400, so we were not too much slower. 2275. 2274, 2307, 2314, 2283. So we're advertised 2350. Our actual velocity was 2291. So much slower. Group not great. All right, we're shooting the 120 Tipped GameKing bullets. We're gonna go bottom row of this target here. Based on the information that we got, these may be a little hot, so I'm going to go ahead and put this brass catcher on there, and we're just going to watch as we progress through these. We've got 3 different charge weights to shoot. We've got 30.3 grains, we've got 30.5 grains, and 30.7 grains. With the max, now this is all Sierra load data, so it's directly off their website. The max on this is 30.7. Oh, I'm sorry, the max is 30.8, not 30.7. Might be putting a different trigger in this gun. 2455, brass looks okay. 2449. 2487. We look fine. I don't see any issues there. There's an average of 2456. 2456, standard deviation of 19.4. So let's shoot 30.5. 2473, let's shoot another one. Yeah, we're definitely looking, getting a little bit of pressure here. Uh, 2489 average on those. Our pressure signs here are a little bit of primer through the extract. We are right up next to max for these rounds. All right, so we do have a little ejector mark there. I think I want to go ahead and shoot the rest of these and just see how they group. It's actually not a bad group. Standard deviation of 7.1, average of 2489. I mean, that's what the 6.5 Grendel was built for. Those are good numbers.
All right, so let's talk about the groups really quick, and then we're going to talk about the ballistic. Ignore my terrible cutting job, but from left to right are the groups that we shot. This group over here is one that I don't think I got footage of, but it is with, this one is with the Kopes Precision. It's got the 95 grain T-Rex bullet in it. So that's the group. It's a little large, so not measured. But then you've got some other ones. So reminder, these are 2-inch dots. So you're talking about an inch-ish group with some of these. This was probably closer to 1.25 inches. and then probably about 1.25 inches. There is a dot here, or a shot here in the middle of this dot. All to say, grouping looked really good. This first group here that's on the second dot, there in front of my middle finger, that's with the nozzle rounds. They did really great. The speed was a little slow for what I was expecting. Let me measure it, I'll come back. All right, we got the handy dandy calipers. We're gonna measure it really fast. 3/4 inch, it's about 0.79-ish. Still around 3/4 MOA. Out of an AR-15, that is really good accuracy. So all to say, that nozzler ammo did really good. It's definitely one I would consider taking hunting. Now let's talk about the hand loads. So these are our hand loads. Now reminder, we did these with the 120 grain tipped GameKing bullets. They're ones that I've seen around for a while. Sierra makes some really great products. And so I wanted to give these a try just to see how they would turn out. That's why I wanted to test these out, and here's what we got out of them. And I gotta tell you, I was shocked. Here's our 3 groups. They're loaded at 3 different charge weights. I think they're all at 2.26 inches. Is that what it says? 2.245 inches. The velocities turned out really good. Go back to the part of the video where I shot these. I list all the ballistic information in that if you wanted to check out the loads. These loads performed exceedingly well in my opinion. With an AR, I'm really looking for like 1 minute of accuracy, 1.5 minutes. I know that I can get better than that, but that's sort of what I'm looking at, just in terms of initial load development to really drill down on something. All of these landed below that 1.5 minutes. If you wanted a rifle that you could change out, you've already got the bolt for it. All you would need to do is grab an upper and throw everything together, and you would have basically 2 or 3 different cartridges or 2 or 3 different rifles. All right, so for me, the 6.5 Grendel is a really cool cartridge for a lot of reasons. So it lives comfortably between the AR-10, which is in that bigger platform. So know that the AR-15 gives you a little more comfortability from that aspect. The other thing that's really awesome about the 6.5 Grendel is, like I mentioned just a moment ago, you've got multiple cartridges that you can throw into one rifle just with a barrel swap or an upper swap. Use the same bolt carrier, throw all that together. You may want different bolt heads if you decide to go that way. You can get away with utilizing something as small as a 6 arc and go all the way up to a 338 arc. 6.5 Grendel shoots the 120 grain class bullet very well. So today we shot the 120 Tipped GameKing, but you also have seen me shoot the 123 SST, which I think is a really great bullet for deer hunting. You've also got all the way up to the 129 Nosler AccuBond long range bullet that you could throw in there. That falls in that 120 grain class, which is sort of what this rifle likes. We covered some of the reasons 6.5 Grendel is awesome. It fits in the AR-15 platform. You might need to do a little bit of work on your magazine. I had to do that at the outset, but there's nothing a little Dremel tool can't fix. So the 6.5 Grendel fits perfectly in that AR-15. It's got the PPC bolt face, your standard AR-15 and your AR-10 cartridges, but you're not quite Magnum length. You still get the benefit of that short action. And here's the thing, you can perfectly load this into a bolt action rifle and drive some more speed out of it. Appreciate you joining this first installment of the 26 calibers in 2026. We've got some cool stuff coming. If you haven't noticed behind me, there's something that may be a little camouflaged in there somewhere. Doesn't fall in the 26 caliber category, but I'm really excited to start showing it off. So thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. We've got some really fun stuff, and so I'm excited for you to continue tuning in. Let me know what you think about the 6.5 Grendel below. I'm excited to hear your opinions. See ya!